There's a couple easy ones. I'm going to change that wiper up there, because this one, well, it's pretty toast. I don't even think there's any rubber left on it. Well, not much. Hey, apparently you can move these real easy with that air wiper. Second thing, when we bought this thing, there's no belt for the power steering pump, so I don't know what this thing is like with a power steering pump. I am hoping that that's not going to be a problem, like there's no belt because, I don't know, maybe it fell off or broke or something and they never changed it, rather than we didn't put one back on because there's a problem with the power steering. So we're going to find out. First thing, we got to take these belts off of the alternator. Oh, it's rusty. Whoop. A little ice for you. I got that loose. I got a bar between the frame and this alternator, and alright. That belt should be loose enough to get off. There's one. And two. Well, that don't sound the most healthy. I don't feel any play in it, but I see a slot right here, so it looks like that bolt I'm hitting with the magnet. That's our adjustment bolt, so I'll go ahead and loosen that one up, get the rest of the belt off the bottom, and pop this new Rural King Special on. Hopefully that's what we need. That adjustment bolt that we're zooming in right there, and not focusing, John. So here's where we're at. That adjustment bolt right there, I've got a bar on here. We've got a little bit more adjustment to go, but I think we need a little shorter belt to go on here. I'm using a bar on here to actually sling the power steering pump, but the other issue we're running into is this hose. I'm yanking on it right here. So we got a little bit more adjustment to go, but we're right on the end that we can't adjust this a whole lot more looking at that adjuster. So the thing to do would be to get a shorter belt. So another problem we have with this thing is air pressure. You can't get this thing to build over 60 psi approximately pressure without some high idle. We got an air tank that's leaking that we need to figure out. Oh yeah, there's a hole in this tank somewhere. We need to get this tank off and replace it. This other one doesn't look too good either, but it's not leaking yet, so I think we're going to have to cut these straps and do like these cables like they did in this other tank, because this one's probably been off for some reason. Alright, the fitting at the top of the screen came loose. This one here, it came loose, however the line is kind of stuck to the fitting and it's spinning with it, so we'll just give her a little bit of encouragement, persuasion. Voila! It's probably an expensive piece of copper, if only the meth heads knew. Now that one's coming loose. I had to heat this one up too because the line was spinning with it. Well, that, and that, those are the nuts for these straps that hold this tank on. I don't even think that's worth messing with. So I'm just going to cut those and we'll figure something else out. And this ran over this other air tank and went over to the other side of the bus, and it looks like it's just an extra air line, but it's plugged up with a grease fitting. That is really hillbilly. Anyway, there's no reason to have this extra line going over there, so, and it's all shot and coming apart. Anyway, we're going to take it off, but I'm going to put a little heat on this thing first. And there's the crimp, and there's our fitting. It's still hot. I like snow. It's about 37 degrees Fahrenheit today. Michigan salt certainly isn't nice to buses. There's our tank. There's a hole in there somewhere. Look at all that rust. That our hole right there. Alright, out in the light. There's the rust hole right there. A little pinhole in one spot. Got the old U-bolt hangers, whatever they're called, out of there. Started putting some air in the tires because they're pretty low. And we got a belt on there now. Well, and a little treasure down here. Alright, from Rural King. That's what you need. $13. I also started working on the taillights on this thing, and well, I found we don't have any power coming to this left side, and I'll show you what we found there. In the back here on the newer buses, this wire harness wraps around, and then it ends up going down right here to these taillights, and then continues over and drops down for the other taillights. Apparently these old ones at the solid window, or at least this rounded rear roof cap, are not the same, because that's real dark. I have to grab a light. Well, you can see there's a wire harness down there, running up right here. And it is not attached right here. It is ripped apart. So I don't know if that's from this body damage back here, from this window being knocked out, or if that was mice chewing on it, or what. So that's going to have to be repaired. Now, I'm not doing a paid product endorsement here, but these vice grip channel locks here with these curved teeth or whatever, they make them in with just flat jaws too, but these curved ones, man, they're great. You can do just about anything with them. I lost the tool to take the wheel off this grinder, and this thing will take it right off. Under the bus here to give you an idea how bad this thing sat for a long time or whatever. Look at all the rust jacking between these springs. This one's cracked and broken. That one's cracked and broken. I think we're missing a little one right there. Maybe, maybe not. So that's got a lot of it too. Anyway, so our issue is these U-bolts. This one's completely rusted away, and I hope that this axle isn't too rusted away. But we'll find out when we start grinding away that rust. So anyway, what I'm doing is, these U-bolts are still good on this side. Well, they're not good, but they're still intact. So I'm going to cut some of these and then remove them. And then that way we can measure up, know what size U-bolts we need to get. Run over to power brake and get them. So they are still under tension. I'm using a cutoff wheel because they don't have a torch. Torch would be a real good option, but they're under tension. It will cut, I don't know, probably right here or so. Like I said, that way. This one we're going to kind of be guessing on what length they're supposed to be because it's already separated. So that's why I'm going to do that method. They all need to be replaced because they're unsafe to put this thing on the road like that. Well, these tires aren't really safe either, but hey, we'll get there one at a time, right? Got my cutoff wheel and safety glasses on. Alright, there it went. I think we'll cut that other one maybe right here so you kind of get an idea of length. Alright, there's the top part of our U-bolt. Good luck getting these out. It's going to take some hammer, maybe a little propane torch. Those are bad.